All right, my friends, welcome to episode 250 of Prof and Dev Play Games. And before we even get into the intro, here's a Steam code for XCOM 2, RAF38LEDCB07TH9. Enjoy that. This is our 250th episode, so we're going to give away a couple of keys today. And we're going to start with the big one, XCOM 2. Over there is Anthony the Dev. He is at SummerSpeak on Twitter, and I am Larry the Professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. How are things? How's your weekend?
Weekend's been fine. I haven't really done much of anything. Did some yard work today. Mowed the lawn, grilled for dinner, but really just had a nice, relaxing, not a lot of obligation weekend, which was good.
That is pretty
Needed
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Both my wife and I are like, we need a weekend where we don't have to have any expectations on us. So, beyond what the kids put on us, but
right.
that's just normal life expectations, extra things. So that's been good. Other than that, not a whole lot. I've played a lot of Persona.
How far do you think you are? Like 25% or 75% through, or?
Do you want to consider it with the Royal content or not?
Yeah.
So if I consider it with the Royale content, I'm at probably just over halfway.
Okay.
And I'm at 75 hours.
Jesus motherfucking Christ. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's insane for a wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean that's a good RPG.
It's a lot of game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of game. We can get into that and what we're playing after.
Boy, that shocked the shit out of me. I did not think that's what you were going to say.
How's your weekend been?
It's been good. I have one more week of school, so it was a fuck ton of grading this weekend. And then hanging out with the family. And then today watching Ubisoft Forward, which felt like a treat for how E3 feels like Christmas in July or whatever, June and whatever. I was excited to hear some new stuff, and I didn't, but I heard a lot of good stuff. So I'm excited to talk about that with you. Today we're going to focus on that Ubisoft Forward. And the first thing I want to talk about was what was not in the presentation, which was any comment on the fucking heads are rolling at Ubisoft right now because of fucking abuse and shit.
Yeah, and they did put out an article, a thing. Was it last night? Yesterday?
I thought it was this morning.
It was this morning, just basically saying like, hey, this is all happening. We acknowledge it's happening, but we reported this beforehand. Honestly, I would have taken the better excuse of being like, hey, we would like to include something, but we can't put something in front of this at the quality we would want to anyway. Right. So we're not because you could re-render a part of the video, honestly.
That's
You could, and people could pull late nights and make it happen, but there is a thing of like, we don't feel like we could get a worthwhile message across in time, or we couldn't. We feel like we would just say something dumb or insincere. We will do something better later.
There's
a lot of better ways they could do that, of being like, hey, we acknowledge, but we can't do this right now. Not just, this is already pre-recorded and we can't do anything with it. It's like, no, you can just output a goddamn file from whatever video editing software you want, with just a black card with some text that isn't before the video.
Right. That's how I felt too, where I would rather them say something like, we want to make sure we said the right thing. Because the way that they said it is very much, okay, if this is pre-recorded, it means that you probably would have had the creative director for Assassin's Creed Valhalla in here, who's now on his own leave. So you would have taken him out. So if you were taking stuff out of this, you probably could have added, at least a title screen. But at the same time, that, just it ups the ante for them to say something publicly about this, And the thing that I think about, same thing with like at IGN when this was happening a couple weeks ago, like all the abuse that was happening there, and thinking about like the top person, like there, Pierre Schneider, or here, Yves Guillemot, like, why is Yves still there? If he's like the top person, he allowed that shit to happen,
Yeah.
In some way. So it's surprising to me that the top person still stays.
Why is the head of Riot Games still there?
Exactly.
There's been multiple crazy reports and awful environment that company
right
allowed to fester, and it wasn't just lower people there. It's like, no, the head of those companies let this happen.
Yep.
And maybe they weren't in the trenches seeing it every day or anything, and it wasn't escalated, but you're still your company. It's up to you to keep track of what's going on and being informed on the culture of your company.
Yeah, I would go so far as to say that you're a pretty shitty leader if you don't know that stuff's going on.
Yeah.
So that's I'm just I've always liked Eves or Pierre Snyder over at Snyder always at IGN, but like this has made me think, what the fuck? So whatever, that's kind of wasn't there, and we'll see what they bring up with that. But Ubisoft Forward had a big thing. Before we even get into like what was said in the presentation, I do want to ask you if you saw like maybe the minute before the actual Ubisoft Forward began. There was a huge pre-show, but the last maybe 50 seconds. Did you see that?
Which part was that?
It was the WoW clips that users have uploaded.
Yes.
Did you see that fucking like 12-year-old girl who was absolutely fucking shredding on guitar? From Rocksmith. Holy shit. I was just like, honestly, of everything in the entire presentation, that blew me away the most.
That was fun to watch because you're just like, okay, yep, she's shredding on a guitar. Oh, what's the other of it? Oh, that's her. What's her feet? Why are her feet on another? Oh, it's not a guitar, it's a bass. Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's playing the bass line with her feet while playing guitar. Like, that's just insane.
Seriously, like, that was crazy. So I just wanted to shout that out. I forgot her name, but crazy. So we started off with Watch Dogs Legion, which is...
Yeah, like a short film, actually.
By someone... When I was watching, I was like, this feels like Spider-Verse. And it seems like the person who did this film was involved in Spider-Verse in some way. I'm not sure exactly how, but...
I don't know.
I read about that afterwards. I don't have it pulled up, but it
gave... Spider-Verse. What was the guy's name? Did you know?
It is... Nope, doesn't have his name here.
I'm just looking on people.
Alberto Mielgo.
I do not know. I know it's...
Let me look that up.
Seen it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. The thing is, with Spider-Verse had so many people,
right,
behind the scenes doing different parts of the animation and different scenes.
He was a visual consultant.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep. He had influence on the look and feel of the movie. Cool.
Okay.
So that's what stood out to me, and then to find out later, I was like, oh, that makes sense. This live action-ish kind of, intro into it's like a tone piece for Watch Dogs Legion. Which, I'll tell you the thing that set me, it made me think of Far Cry 5, where it's like, oh, we're going to have this really political message, and then when you get the game, it's going to be like, not at all.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think so. I think it's going to have a pretty heavy message.
I hope you're right.
Based on the hands-on time that I read about, it was a pretty consistent thing from the article. Was like, it might be too timely for its message, actually. In this police crackdown, military state kind of stuff.
Right. But I hope they have something to say about that.
I mean, you're playing the people that are fighting this shit,
right? But you're also doing it in Far Cry 5, though, so you're playing against the fucking religious cult, so... I feel like...
They're kind of... Pretty sure they're saying it's not good.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I mean, the other part to it is it seems like it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek as well.
Which fits Watch Dogs, especially 2.
Yeah.
I think Watch Dogs 1 was more serious.
It was, and I don't think it makes it better.
Right.
Actually, I think that because I heard some comment that someone's like, I think I'd be more into this if it was more serious and not trying to be as edgy and stuff. And the response was, well, that was Watch Dogs 1. It was bland as hell.
Yeah.
It needs its own voice, and and I think they found that in Watch Dogs 2, and they're just running with it now.
Great. And I think it's interesting the way that they've set this game up without having it be 3. So if this doesn't land well, they could be like, oh, and here's Watch Dogs 3, a couple years from now, if they decide to continue. I think this looks it looks like we were texting. It looks like fucking Watch Dogs mixed with Hitman, where you can approach a mission from instead of like getting on different disguises, you just choose a different person in your retinue, basically.
It's actually kind of old like Watch Dogs 2 mixed with Hitman mixed with Pokemon. Your citizens are you're collecting different citizens.
Oh shit! I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's perfect.
I mean, you kind of are.
Yeah, no, you totally are.
You want to have different jobs and different access levels, and
right.
It's a collect them all game in some ways, I'm sure.
I hope there are characters from previous Watch Dogs games that are just happen to be in London. You can recruit them as well.
You would have to think that they'd have some Easter egg content like that. Little small connections.
Boats with cats.
Yeah, they mentioned the boats with cats thing. I mean, I got through it, and I'm getting a better sense of how it works. I am still kind of blown away at the scope that it's going for.
Yeah. And
I worry still that they'll be able to land this in a way that feels like, oh, this after the first couple hours is not just a repetitive mess.
Right.
As they talk about you needing to recruit someone, they give you like an origin mission to recruit them, and I'm like, how many of those can there be?
Right. How unique could they be?
Can that? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like different flavor of fetch quest.
Yeah. But I mean, I've been Kotaku. They one of the guys got a 4-hour playthrough with the game. Actually, a lot of press got 4-hour playthroughs of this and Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Right.
All streamed again.
Yep.
This seems to be the thing to be done, and the 4-hour thing is pretty consistent. It's just a funny thing of being like, here, play this for 4 hours.
That's nice to be given enough room to kind of like let your playthrough breathe. That's enough time to get a really good impression. So I'm just going to spend a lot of time looking at I'm just, just like with Odyssey, I don't know, like Assassin's Creed is becoming like my favorite series. I get so into like the hype cycle, like learning about all the stuff ahead of time. Like imagining what the DLC might be, because they're set in England. They could get fucking crazy, man.
They could. So yeah, I don't know. The playthrough on this, it seemed like they got to do a lot of cool things, and they got to experiment with pretty radical ways of hacking and approaching missions.
Yep.
Depending on who they selected and what access they had, and some of it was like, I solved the mission without ever actually touching foot inside the enemy area. I just hacked drones and different things and hacked the car to make it self-drive itself out of the base.
Well, and if they land that, it would make this really replayable. You could play it in a ton of different, like with Watch Dogs 2, it was really fun to go into a mission and kind of try not to kill anybody, or then go into another one and just like whatever, go on a murder spree. But in the end, in Watch Dogs 2, you really like you were professing like this anti-violence kind of front, but DedSec was, but man, you fucking murdered bitches all over the place. So.
Video games. Really,
pretty much. Was that ludonarrative they were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ludonarrative dissonance.
Yep. That's fucking Uncharted 4 to a T. Fucking serial killer, smiley guy.
Much.
Number 2 was Brawlhalla, which doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. No.
But I'm sure it's there for someone. They were going to do iOS and Android.
Yep. Because they went into a couple mobile stuff there. They did Brawlhalla.
Yeah.
And then they did the Might and Magic mobile game that I guess is out. I was like, what Might and Magic thing they're doing? Oh, it's a game that already exists.
Yeah.
Oops, I haven't heard of that. Okay.
Me neither. Yeah.
Next was Elite Squad.
Yep, Tom Clancy's Elite Squad.
Elite Squad, which is a mobile shooter thing.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I guess.
don't know what the gameplay. I assume it's a shooter.
It was just like a CG kind of cartoon.
Honestly, reminded me a lot of a style of like Team Fortress.
Yeah, right.
Like Tom Clancy Team Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, actually, when you say it like that, it sounds kind of good.
Yeah, it's a mobile game though. I would never. There are genres of games I will gladly play on my phone. Shooters is not one of them.
Yeah.
I fucking despise shooter controls on.
Well, it's one of the.
Screen.
I got Apple Arcade subscription and tried out a few different games. And there's like a shooter, and there's like an adventure game, and it's like you're using the glass as your controller. It's like, nah, this is not for me. Like, this is not something I'm going to continue past a month of checking out.
No, it's never been good. I get it. People want to try different things there. Fortnite is incredibly huge on mobile, but it's not for me. I cannot do shooters on the phone. I am not of that generation, clearly. But what else did they do? There's Legion, and then was that Hyperscape, which I saw bounce up on Twitch at one point in the past couple weeks.
Well, it was a closed beta in the last couple weeks.
Okay, and they had some streamers doing it. So
yes, correct.
Honestly, as a battle royale, it looked pretty neat.
I think they've
very arcadey battle royale.
Yeah, they've managed to make it look different than other, kind of like what Apex Legends did. They've managed to make it look different and stand out. It looks like.
Yeah, the trailer and stuff emphasized like a lot of story for a battle royale.
Well, that's the interesting thing. Is like, okay, you have this battle royale, but then there's like a deeper mystery you're like working towards. Like, what? There's a fucking story here.
Yeah, is there an actual story? Is that if I play matches of the battle royale, am I unlocking layers of story, which is different than Apex, which does have some story, but it's not as that integrated into the game as much. I guess the latest.
It's like some stuff. Overwatch, where the story is really outlined in like the comics and whatever else.
Exactly. It'd be cool if they found a way to bring that a little bit more into the game, so that as you're doing matches, you're uncovering narrative.
Right. That intrigued me the most.
Yeah. It's an open beta now, so I guess you can play at any point.
I plan to, yeah. Before we move into the next piece, I want to give away another code for a game. This is a little game called Undertale for Steam, D2827 7GD3T 9VBEI. Enjoy Undertale. But yeah, I thought that it stood out, and if the story thing is fleshed out like that, I guess we can just jump into the open beta and check it out.
Yeah,
see for ourselves.
Yeah. But then I think we get to what everyone was waiting for. After what felt like an excruciatingly long intro to it, Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay.
Yep.
Like actual in-game gameplay. I think I would also put it, if anyone expected this to not look like an Assassin's Creed game, well, it's an Assassin's Creed game. As soon as I saw it playing, how the HUD and the targeting, the whole thing, I'm like, yep, Assassin's Creed. They're not deviating too far from this, from the formula. But I think it looks cool. I think it could be a lot of fun. The building the settlement stuff looked neat. It feels like they're just building on a lot of the systems from AC Odyssey in a lot of ways, and just refining them or adjusting them in different ways. Like the siege battles in this one are a lot like the Battlefield type things in AC Odyssey, just improved upon. Instead of it just being a flat, hey, here's a bunch of guys running at each other and fighting, you actually have objectives you're working through of trying to siege forts.
Yeah, and I like that. It adds some mechanics, right? You got to use a siege engine to bust open the doors and whatever else.
Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty rote over time. Those battles in Odyssey were, after the first one was like, okay, these are all the same. I'm sure this will be that way too, but I like that twist. At least the first time, it should be fun.
Yeah. Trying to think of other things that really were interesting. I mean, you can in this one again, you have male, female version. someone that's playing their gameplay version of it said you can switch between male female any point in time.
Right, I saw that today. That sounds really cool because if you...
What the fuck? I'm kind of curious how they make that, because they said there's a story reason why, and I'm like, what's the story reason? I'm actually interested in this.
Some sort of animus issue?
Yeah, yeah, it has to be something, but it's still kind of a cool, like, it's not where AC Odyssey, Deimos and Cassandra were two actually separate characters,
right?
That you could play as. You're playing the same character, just male or female.
Yeah, I wonder if they just said we want to do this. Let's figure out some story reason why.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I kind of like that because, like in Odyssey, like it was Cassandra all the way, but I was kind of curious what the other one felt like, voice lines and whatever else. But I'm going female on this one, as I did with Odyssey. Something else I liked from the gameplay, and it seems like they're bringing in some elements of previous Assassin's Creed again, like the assassinate when you're walking past somebody, but also the blending into a crowd kind of thing. So there's a couple elements from earlier AC games coming in that I think some people have been missing. They didn't show the skill tree in the presentation. Maybe they did afterwards in the 30-minute thing.
I didn't see the entire 30-minute, but I didn't see it. Okay. I heard people talk in the play an impressions thing talk about that there's no levels anymore. So it's like you have general power you gain, and when you earn XP, you just earn a skill point, and you can assign that skill point to a couple different. There's a couple trees, and there's a couple sub trees, but there's like different types of skill point. Like there's trying to think. There's skill tree, like 2 different skill trees for your experience points as you're getting those, and then there was something else about like things you find in the world that give you skill points for a different tree. Maybe it's the constellation stuff. Is there a constellation thing?
There are constellations, and it feels like. Did you play Origins at all?
No.
It looks like the skill tree for me of Origins played against a constellation, because there was like a 30-minute leak earlier this week that had gameplay that was different than what we saw today, and it had assigning skill points, and it was basically like it's just like I don't even know how to explain it, but just take glitter and throw it on the ground, and each of those little dots is a skill. So it's not really any sort of semblance of why. There's different areas are scattered together, and they are like certain, like stealth or ranger or whatever. And there's constellations, so it's kind of like there are nodes, right? So when you choose a skill, then it opens up a node to like other skills in that area or in that general direction. But if you don't open that node up, then you can't get there. So it's less rhyme or reason than there was in Odyssey, but it looks to me almost exactly the same as Origins. So
okay, I'm reading. Instead, you have a number called power, which is made up of a total number of nodes you've unlocked in the game's skill tree, each of which grants a bonus, like higher maximum health or increased damage. There are now 2 skill trees. One is specifically for special abilities, like Odyssey's Spartan Kick and things. That one requires finding books out in the world in order to progress through. The other is for increasing general stats, so that's the power skill tree. The nodes. Let's see. In addition to needing to collect experience points to progress through the second skill tree, it is broken down into 3 subtrees, each based around a particular animal. The bear subtree focuses on brute force. The raven tree is all about being sneaky, and the wolf subtree is all hunter style upgrades. And gear corresponds to subtrees and gives bonuses to different subtrees.
Yeah, that makes sense. It just feels less linear than I need it to be to make sense in my head, but it'll be fine. It was fine in Origins. It'll be fine here. I was just like, when I got to Odyssey, I was like, oh, thank God the skill tree is kind of like top to bottom, like makes, or bottom to top or whatever. Yeah. Very linear.
I like the fact you could dual wield any weapons.
I want to dual
wield. Or not
wield.
all, like, I'm sure you can have two-handed weapons as well. But you can have it looks like any one-handed weapons, dual wield 2 of them. shields, go for it.
I am seriously, I want to dual wield shields, because when have you ever been able to do that? Like, I want that so bad. They showed gameplay of that, and I was like, okay, that's cool.
It looked freaking awesome. They're just punching the crap out of people with shields.
I'm definitely going to do that.
I'm sure everyone's going to do it, at least for some time.
Until it gets super annoying, I guess.
Yeah, it seemed like it had some cool, like, the fighting looked cool. It looked like Odyssey style, maybe a little bit more refined than that. I'm trying to think of other things. They focused a lot on the combat side of it, and then that 30-minute after, they got into some story stuff as well.
Yeah, I like that. It had when they're choosing the choice about whether that person lives or dies, it was just binary choice, live or die. So I think Odyssey, my issue with Odyssey was sometimes the choices were just like A or B, whereas Witcher is something like A, B, C, and D. So I kind of like the broader choices.
Yeah. I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm excited for it overall.
Me too.
Somebody brought up an interesting take that I hadn't thought of is you're kind of playing the invading, colonizing force here.
You absolutely are.
Which is very morally different than every other person you've played in Assassin's Creed before. You always kind of played that the assassins were always on the side of the oppressed, or generally fighting against the people that were keeping them down.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm like, well, you're the one wrecking England in this one.
That's why I like their focus on, like, they're moving. They're farmers. They're kicked out of their homeland. Like, none of that helps. They are going there and slaughtering the people they didn't need to go to do. It's like, fuck. Yeah, not good.
I mean, that's that, and so it puts the whole. I'm curious what they do with some of that level of thing, and being like, there's going to be a little bit of weird for the series, weird morality for the protagonist,
right.
And maybe what they're doing isn't the greatest thing ever. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm sorry, I'm watching a GIF now of someone, like, there's some move where you can. They showed it in the trailer where you can pick someone up and, like, slam.
Oh god, it was a fucking suplex, dude. It was a suplex.
Yeah, you can just do crazy shit.
You're talking about Watch Dogs, right?
No. You can do that in Assassin's Creed. You can pick up people up and, like, charge them and, like, throw them against walls and through doors. And
dude, that sounds rad. I was thinking of the suplex from fucking Watch Dogs.
Yeah, there was the suplex in Watch Dogs,
which was also cool.
I'm trying to see social. Yeah, the social stealth is back. We saw that, which was cool. Blending into crowds.
Mm-hmm.
This is a thing from the playthrough. Killing random townsfolk will desynchronize you.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep.
Oh, that wasn't a thing in Odyssey.
No.
That's another thing coming back from previous iterations. Huh.
Yep. Instead, killing randos simply messes up your connection to the Animus and eventually leads to a game over.
Leads to a game over?
Yeah.
But wait a second. Aren't you going there and killing all the townspeople?
I don't know.
Huh, okay.
I think things are going to be... It's probably a little different than expected, honestly. I'm
fucking day one on this thing, and I know that I have pre-ordered Cyberpunk, but...
I can't. I'm Cyberpunk all the way, and there's no reason I could buy this 2 days before Cyberpunk. I'm sorry.
This is great for our podcast audience because we'll be playing the opposite game of each other.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm going to fucking play Cyberpunk before this. Not a chance.
Oh, yeah, and they said Watch Dogs was October 29th.
I know, isn't that crazy? Just a couple weeks before this.
Yeah.
Makes you want to get the Ubisoft, the Play, whatever it is, their subscription service, basically.
Yeah, Play, Ubi, Play Plus, or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Maybe. I think I'm going to probably play... Well, it depends if I get a PS5 or not. If I have PS5, I'm playing this on PS5. Because they also said this is on PS5. Of course.
Even with your computer? Doesn't your computer, like, top PS5 stuff?
These are type of games I like to play on a console, though. Usually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I was having the same issue. I'm like, do I play this on my really sweet gaming computer or PS5?
I think even with the computer I have, PS5 is probably going to do it better.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
In some ways, yes. But I could be wrong. But no, but that's also where I have all my trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
I want
that's
these.
the
I want
issue.
these. I platinumed.
Yep.
Odyssey. What if I want platinum this? I want that streak to keep going. It's a.
Then you never get off the train.
Yeah, that's how it works. But man, this team must have been like, son of a bitch when Cyberpunk got pushed to
Totally.
2 days after this game.
Somebody said, I saw earlier today, that said Odyssey went head to head with the Red Dead Redemption 2 and did fine. Like, well, I don't know if that's maybe it's the same similar situation, but
I think it will be fine overall. That time of the year is packed with lots of big name games, so
yeah, totally, it's hard to find a weekend to your own.
Yeah, so you just take what you're going to get, and honestly, there's probably some overlap, but maybe not as much, and maybe there'll be people that will just buy both from straight up.
I mean, I already have my pre-order for Cyberpunk, and I'm not going to release that one, so.
Yeah.
Well, I might be getting this one for free, though, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got to try that. Maybe.
But I probably won't, because you need some sort of coupon. If anyone doesn't know, if you have a certain AMD CPU, you're basically, from now until Valhalla releases, you can get Valhalla for free. But I think you need some sort of coupon from your retailer, which I don't have, so.
Yeah, I think you actually do to get the program to test your CPU thing.
Right. So.
Yeah, because actually I looked right now. Like, if I bought my same CPU right now, it says it comes with Valhalla for PC.
Yeah, there you go. So that's why I'm not.
It's like Newegg has that thing saying like, hey, if you buy the CPU, you get Valhalla. I wonder if it's on Amazon as well.
Yeah. I wonder if I could get a hold of customer service and be like, yo, I just bought this computer 3 days ago. Where's my coupon?
Coupon, please.
They'll probably say it was a third-party vendor, so no.
That's also, I don't know how they decide who can do this or not. No, Amazon as well.
Really?
Here's how.
Well, I'm going to try it just in case.
I haven't checked your laptop, though. Let's see. This laptop was the tough, right?
Yeah, tough A15.
Does it say anything about that? Let's see. Does not say anything about it on it.
Okay. I'll have a look into it, but I'm also fine paying for the game, obviously, so.
Yeah. But still, maybe.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt to investigate. It's worth the money to investigate. Worth the time, I mean.
Yeah.
So the last thing that closed out the Ubisoft piece was a one more thing about Far Cry 6, which is worst kept secret because that all leaked, yesterday, the day before?
Yeah. Like everything with Ubisoft, it all leaks.
Oh
and always in weird and strange places, too. Sometimes it's streamers or people that they sent, like that was the AC Valhalla thing. Last year, it was like Walmart put up all their games early.
Right.
Like, it's like, what the hell? It's
also,
never consistently the same thing. It's always different. It's leaking. Right,
yeah, it was at Walmart Canada like 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This one was like an Instagram post that got deleted with like the 17th November release date. I just don't know if it matters. Like, we all know this is what was coming. Like, I was surprised Gods and Monsters wasn't on here. Like, that must have got pushed back big time after that leak or before. It was on the Stadia.
Yeah. One thing I was bringing up, and we're kind of talking a little bit beforehand, of like, there's not we're talking about Far Cry 6 was probably the only new thing in here, really, like big new thing, and it's not even gameplay. It was just a CG movie with big name actor as the villain, Giancarlo Esposito. But even then, I mean, it doesn't show who you were playing, or it's just like, hey, dictator on small Cuba-like island.
Right.
Go. Like, I assume you fight against taking down that dictator. But, I mean, it's coming out in 2021, February. as the
February
time.
something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I figure that one's they're gonna hold on showing a lot of stuff for that until a little bit later.
Right, which is totally fine. I think Ubisoft is probably my favorite AAA publisher. That's not Nintendo or Sony, kind of like the third party ones. But man, Far Cry has just never done it for me in any way.
No, but they keep going, and clearly there's a market for them. So
right,
and they usually look pretty and are fun sandboxes to play around in. But yeah, I'm sure that excited a chunk of people. I'm not necessarily one of them, though.
But not everything needs to be for everyone, kind of thing.
Nope, exactly. So, yeah. But I want to go back to this has been bugging me through this entire awards season. Nothing has felt particularly exciting, really.
No, it
all
really
run of the mill. It doesn't. It's not even just them. It's all these in a lot of ways. And I was just trying to really think about why. One, this is a console generational change year, and those are notoriously weirdly create some amount of friction on what's being shown. But what's different about this year is there isn't that big E3 moment. So they're doing all that. That's great. I don't think E3 has to happen, but these are all being spread out, and so many of these companies are not, I would say, in lockstep with each other. When E3 is happening, on a console generational change, let's say it's this one, you would have had Microsoft and Sony doing big presentations for their next-gen consoles, probably showing price and release dates already.
Right.
This stuff would be there, and then that would happen the days before E3, and then all of this stuff would follow after, and these big publishers would show off their stuff coming for the next gen. And now they're just, I feel like, holding that because Microsoft and Sony haven't said everything yet.
Right.
We don't have release dates. We don't have prices for the next gen. A lot of this stuff from these, Ubisoft, I'm sure has games that will be in both PS5 presentations and Xbox Series X presentations. Guaranteed.
Or if they've got games that are exclusive to one or the other.
And they're not going to say those yet.
Exactly.
So it's putting a lot of these, I think, publishers in these just weird places where they can't talk about a whole hell of a lot. They can talk about things that they've announced and stuff coming from the current gen and the next gen. But they're not really talking about a lot of the exciting things right now.
Yeah, obviously there's a ton of reasons why right now is a fucking weird time. But just in terms of the gaming space and conference space, it's felt like super disjointed to the point where I've barely been able to follow.
Yep.
A lot of it. It's just everywhere, and it's hard to focus. I get some moments of clarity, the Ubisoft presentation or the PS5 presentation, but Devolver I just missed yesterday completely. And who the fuck knows with Nintendo? It's just random shit. There's some rumor that tomorrow is supposed to be another Sony thing, which is not. I cannot see that happening.
I heard that rumor. I don't think that's happening. I heard now that they're going to do their thing after Microsoft does theirs at the end of the month.
Oh, so July 23rd. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sony will do theirs shortly after that.
I would wait. They planned their flag. Yeah, might as well wait till after they're done.
Exactly, and so we're getting this weird thing, and I think it comes back to, again, E3 is a crazy time, and I don't think publishers need to be doing all that, but there's something to be said for compacting all these announcements into 1 week.
Yes, totally.
Instead of spreading them out and having these long disjointed waits and these a weird video presentation, multiple presentations. That's totally a thing that's happening.
Right.
I think it dulls a certain amount of excitement, and there's a certain level of fatigue to consumers from it.
That's the thing I've been feeling the most, where it's I'm so fucking stoked for E3, and I was thinking wow, 2 months of E3, all this stuff coming out. It's no, man, it's fatiguing because I'm able to look forward to a week and anticipate that week, and now I can't anticipate. Like, I find out about things like 3 days before they're due or whatever, you know? So,
yeah.
You know, the Xbox has been out a couple weeks. That's kind of nice to have something in the long term to look forward to, and kind of like it gives me a schema to hang like what I might expect, because I love the hype game, and thinking about it and like, having the permutations go through my head. But when I don't really have a clear idea of what's coming, I can't do that, and it takes a lot of the enthusiasm away from it for me, which is whatever, because eventually I'll get the games and they'll be fine anyways.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just a weird. I think this whole year being all the COVID stuff, conferences being canceled, and next gen consoles coming out is just messing with the whole cycle of things.
Right. Right.
In all sorts of weird ways, and yeah. I don't know if E3 will ever come back again, but I'm hoping if there isn't an E3, these publishers might try to figure out a way that they could just do not such a spread out thing. They could compress themselves to even be within like, all right, all these things are happening over like 2 weeks in June. Like we're just gonna do it there. But man, so yeah, I mean that just it cuts down on the excitement. Like I enjoyed the Ubisoft thing. Was there anything crazy exciting? No, but I got to see gameplay for 2 games that I'm actually interested in, and they look solid. So thumbs up there. It was
just like everything felt solid, even though some of the games I probably won't play. But then they also introduced a new game, Hyperscape, to me that wasn't on my radar, but now it's like that's a game I at least want to try. And the rest, whatever. It's not for me, and that's fine.
I could not get Watch Dogs 2.
No one. Who the fuck could?
I was eventually able to log in.
Me too, yeah.
But I think you needed to be using the desktop app.
I did it in the desktop app.
I was trying to log in through their website and just look at their store, and I couldn't see anything that showed Watch Dogs 2 for free anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe I should install the Uplay thing. I guess if I want to try out Hyperscape, I should.
Yeah, I have that. I mean, I spent the weekend putting all the the launchers on my gaming computer. Bought a Asus TUF Gaming A15. Just fucking screams that fucking laptop, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I had no idea. Like, I love my desktop. I think it's great. I upgraded the video card to a 1080, I think.
Yeah.
But holy shit, does that fucking Ryzen 4800 and that RTX 2060 just together, even in the laptop slim form, is just fucking like Witcher 3 Ultra, 60 frames a second, and like not even no issues.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just fucking. I was playing Apex Legends on it. Like, it just still blows my mind that I can play on a laptop those kind of games. And fucking win. I got my first goddamn win in Apex Legends, first time in 80 games on that laptop. Worth the money.
I mean, you're talking about, when it comes down to it, I don't think it's refresh rate. It could be frame rate. Like, it might just help be more responsive because they're just at a higher frame rate.
I just feel like I can see the enemy better, and I'm just like, is this confirmation bias? Am I trying to like make myself think this is a good purchase on the gaming front at least?
I'm sure somewhat, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It really, really is. So I think that'll do me for quite a while. Yeah. So I've been playing. Have you heard of Trivia Royale?
No.
It's a app on your phone.
Okay.
It's just a trivia. It's what it sounds like. It's trivia, but it's you against 1,000 people, and you just get head-to-head matchups, and then people who lose are gone, and you just keep going head-to-head matchups so you get into the top, 10, 5,
that's actually
12,
cool.
6, whatever. It's fun. It's really fun. So we played that a bit with my wife. I just spent a lot of time playing Disco Elysium this week. Just getting deep. I'm in game day 2, and just getting deeper into the fucking wacky, really deep writing.
Nice.
And just being okay with like whatever choice I make, and just not safe scumming, just going.
Yeah.
Like I think I talked about last week how I like internalized this racist fucking ideology to get into an area that I needed to get into, and I was like, I don't want to be a racist, but this is what I am doing to get into this area, I guess. So it's super deep. writing. It's good, really good.
That's cool.
And then I downloaded Crosscode and Curse of the Moon 2 on Switch, but I haven't opened them yet. But they're there for one day when I get there.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you? What are you playing? No, you're fucking playing Royale.
Yeah, Persona 5. So goddamn much of that game. I still absolutely love it. It is, I think, when I go through, like, I'm gonna probably I'll finish it Royale. So I played the first non-Royal version, finish it. Play Royal version, finish it. And it's gonna be probably somewhere close to 300 hours of me playing these games. I think I'm gonna put this down as like the best JRPG I've ever played.
Holy shit! Wow, and you played a lot of JRPGs.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, damn, that's crazy.
The characters are, and the thing is that gets me now why I'm like I have to play Persona 4 is I have people that they really like Persona 5, but they'll argue and say Persona 4 is better, and I'm like, how the fuck is it better? Like, that's a bold statement to me.
Sometimes I feel those statements come out simply because, like, in this case specifically, like, Persona 4 is really, 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 really fucking good, and so is 5, but 4 was first. Like, maybe it's like my first love kind of thing, or does it feel like there were mechanics or whatever that were better to those people?
Yeah, which may be how it is, and I'll get through it and be like, oh, it's because that's just because you played that first. So, and it was the one that really stuck with you. Because I am finding that I think one of the reasons this game sticks with me so much is I love the characters. Like halfway through, I'm like, I love these characters. I love these group of teenagers. I like their personalities, the way they're written and their interactions, and being like, it just feels like any good story, if it has really good characters to it, just elevates it. So, and that this just does. And so I'm wondering if the people like 4 just, again, have really good, really well written characters that they just attach to. So, we'll see. I'm sure I will do P4 Golden here at some point in the future.
I got money on that, man. I know you will.
I know I will too.
I don't know when, but yeah, for sure.
I gotta get through this first. And then we have Ghost of Tsushima coming out, which I might have to hold off just so I can finish Royal, just get it out of my system.
Yeah, no, that's probably.
But
a good
I want to
idea.
play Tsushima like a lot because they actually talked about articles coming out that the black and white mode and like everything, they talked to the Kurosawa estate when doing it.
Wow.
So like make it how it looked like a Kurosawa samurai film. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing because I'm going to play it that way the entire time. I say that now and then I'll turn it off because it's bullshit hard to see anything. But I will start in black and white mode with Japanese subtitles. Japanese subtitles.
I really want to play that way, but then I think, am I missing out on like how beautiful the game looks, in color?
Maybe.
So, yeah. But I definitely
I wonder if you
could
could toggle it on and off.
That would be nice.
Because that'd be cool. I would totally do it into a...
Right.
I bet you can. I bet it's in the settings where you can just turn that on and off.
Right. That would make sense.
That'd be cool. But yeah, it's Persona 5 all the time. And it's probably going to be that way for a little bit.
You're knee-deep
trying to think
in
of other things that I've wanted to play. I played a little bit more Minecraft Dungeons with my son, which is awesome. He loves that game so much.
I'm glad.
It's the perfect action RPG for just introducing someone to the genre, and it's great. He has a blast. He's collecting new items and gets excited about it, and loves reading the wiki on it now, and
nice.
all things that he can do. And he plays it with a friend, which is great, since it's hard to have any kind of in-person playdates right now. So he can at least has his headset and he can talk with his friend. That's been fun. I picked up Divinity 2, Original Sin 2 for PC.
Nice.
Gotta install it because I just want to see how pretty it looks.
Yeah, Brad got it too in the sale, so maybe us three can
all three. Oh god,
play that together a little bit.
How much do you want to bet that will just be an entire shit show?
Now that I've played like 30 hours of the game, like at least I can guide us if we need to.
You feel,
But I
feel
would rather.
confident enough?
I do, yeah. But I still feel like the best part of it is to not do that and let you guys lead instead. That's
all the poor decisions.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about how long fucking Persona 5 Royale is. I'm 30 hours, 30 fucking hours into not the prologue, but like the prologue is the ship, but the first act. Like I'm still not out of the first act, and there's still shit to do. So I've actually got to set it up with maybe I'll do it tonight. Transfer my save over to the PC, just so I can have that. It's cross save, so with Switch, which is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, speaking of cool, I want to give you a key for The Escapists 2 and hopefully Tom Clancy's The Division. MQA0B4XXZLYB9K6 is The Escapists 2. And then, if I can get this right, motherfucker. Nope, I have to connect my Uplay to redeem, which means it's going to redeem it for me, so that's not going to work. So I'll have to find one more game to give to someone. Are there any big video games? Oh, there's some rumors about a direct next week, which seems to be there's rumors about a direct every week.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Everyone wants a direct all the time. So.
Yeah, I do for sure. Like, what else do you guys have? Okay, and then we get it. Sonic Mania. Here we go. I'll give you a code for Sonic Mania for Steam. J63PE9VECC6270M. Just want to say thanks for listening to us since October 2015 for 250 episodes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. We've been here for a while. You came on January 2016, so you can feel a little less old.
Sure. That's so many years.
I know. Just wasting our lives talking about video games.
Video games, that's true. I just opened my Uplay and installed it and set it all up and logged in. I have games on Uplay?
Yeah.
What? I have like Heroes of Might and Magic 5 and 6. Might and Magic 10, World in Conflict Complete Edition, Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, and Unity. Why do I have games? I don't know. I never bought these, but I have them.
You never redeemed them somewhere else?
I guess they were probably redeemed in bundles I picked up here and there.
Yeah, maybe.
Or I think they gave away some of the Assassin's Creeds for free at one point. I don't know.
They have been. They did at the beginning of the quarantine. They gave away quite a few, that's where I grabbed a bunch from. I got like Unity and Black Flag in that. Huh. So maybe you did, maybe not.
There's just games, cool games.
Yeah.
Weird. That's cool. More things.
As we were talking earlier, like my backlog is so huge. Having a good game to play is not the issue. The time is just the issue.
That's totally it.
I'm gonna log into my Uplay too. I logged into my laptop, but I haven't logged on my desktop in a while. That's not the password. But I think mine's mainly Assassin's Creed games. And hopefully Watch Dogs 2 tomorrow. We'll see. I logged in during the thing. It just wouldn't let me redeem for some reason. They're probably just getting slammed. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, here's Hyperscape. All right, I'll activate that on my laptop.
Yeah, I did that one. I activated Hyperscape so that it's ready to download.
Add it to my library. Cool. Great. Well, this was episode 250 of Prof and Dev Play Games. We'll be back next week talking about some video game conference thingy that's happening next week, because there's got to be something. I'm sure there's going to be something.
I'm sure.
Whether we want it or not.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for the podcast, and thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Later, everyone.
See ya.